Well, hello everybody. I'm Hajar Isa. I'm from Sudan and I've recently graduated. Studied English language and translation at Peace University College. And I can say, like, since I was a little kid, I've always dreamed about making some changes around the world, about helping my brothers and sisters around Sudan, and mainly in Khartoum, let's say. But if like I gained all the knowledge or maybe all the consequences I'm dreaming about this project, maybe I will move to other parts, but right now I need to make it only here first. So I thought one day about why not to make a project which will help my brothers and sisters around here. This project is about developing English language here, and it's called English Language Development in Sudan Project, ELDSP. This project is about making some interviews first, and then secondly having the placement test, and then the main event, which is the workshop. The workshop is about like helping them in communication mainly. Like we can say the main problem that's facing all my brothers and sisters around here, or even I myself, I face this problem, which is fear at the beginning. Because you may have like the guts, you may have some thoughts about doing something or maybe learning any other languages, like without making any like main thing about this language or something. But let's say English, for example, if I want to learn it, then I'll be like afraid at the beginning because I might be making some mistakes, I might be saying something wrong, and all the people might be laughing at me. These are the problems which we faced while we were students. And for me, I've always wanted to learn English since I was a kid. I used to watch my dad, who was speaking at home, and also with his colleagues at work. So at that time exactly, that was the time of this series, which is called Full House, in which I used to imitate Michelle, the little girl. I used to imitate like the way that she speaks, what she's saying, and try to do my best to speak the same way she's doing. And then after that, I tried to do my best by listening to some English songs. I also watched Hannah Montana, and I used to love her so much. And I also watched some other series and listened to more music, which made me gain more vocabulary, and also to speak like a little bit closely to the American accent, but not the same way. And I think it was very good. It was a very good experience for me. So since that time, I've been trying to tell my brothers and sisters to do the same. But I don't say that they didn't want to do that, but they were kind of afraid about it. They said like, no, it's not gonna work out. It might seem a little bit awkward, like telling someone, yeah, that's the way I learned English. They would be like, no, that's impossible. But really, I can say that's the same way which I did. And then after that, I started the project and the idea. I've already made a page on Facebook which is called ELDSP, English Language and English Language Development in Sudan Project. And I started this workshop, or this project, by making some interviews with 5 English language teachers and 5 native speakers and 5 English language students around here in Sudan. I mean, like Sudanese ones, and 5 students who are not studying English language and translation fields, but they can speak English fluently. And as an example for the ESL students was my friend from Italy. His name is Angelo. And then I started an interview with him by asking him some questions about the ways in which he learned English and what kind of difficulties did he face while he was learning this language, and what is his advice for the students around Sudan, or maybe around the world in particular, and what are his final words for those students. Firstly, he started telling me his story about he's a journalist, so he moves a lot, and then that time he had to move to England, in which he found it like very difficult for him to contact with people or to communicate with them because he couldn't speak English at that time. It was very difficult for him at the beginning, but because he had some nerve, he had some guts inside him that he can do this. And then after that, he told me like he was afraid at the beginning, but after that he joined some courses of English language, which helped him a lot. But then he also had to do something by himself, so he started listening to more music. He started concentrating about gaining more vocabulary. He started like having no fear about it. So he used like to talk to people all around the place, like on the street. He started having many English friends, and he started talking to them, though it was a little bit difficult for him in the beginning. But then after that, he got the chance to speak English fluently. Right now, he's doing very good. And then after that, he mentioned something very important for me about telling all the, or maybe that's a message for him, like for all the students around the world, about not having fear. And there's nothing which is called impossible. Just try, and then you will do the best you will. And then I spoke to Mr. Mazin. He's a Sudanese student, but he studied at Saudi Arabia. That's where he had his own studies. and he didn't study English actually, but right now he can speak it fluently, and I can tell how. He told me like at the beginning for him it was very difficult because they had no any English courses in Saudi Arabia. Like at the beginning, at a primary school or high school, he didn't have any kind of those courses. And it was very difficult for him, but he only gained this language by listening to music and then watching TV, and also gaining some knowledge from like newspapers. He used to read magazines. He used to do the best. I mean, like he was trying his best to gain knowledge from all the places that he can get, or maybe they will help. If, he thought they might help him, and they were very helpful for him. And his final message also for the students was about not to be afraid about anything, because there is nothing which is called impossible. And that was very good. Actually, that was a very good experience for both of them. And I'm not going to get into more details about all the people who made interviews for, but for the teachers, my questions were about the difficulties that they face while teaching the students, and why they think students are afraid about contacting in English, or maybe communicating in English, like between their brothers and sisters around them. Um, some of them told me some information which we will be reflecting at the workshop. So for them, it was kind of difficult to teach those students, and they're not telling me that the students don't want to learn English. They want to, but they can't, and they keep saying that they can't, and that's the main problem here. The word "I can't" can be a big barrier between you and your dream. So like, not saying like any other dreams, but like "I can't," that would be the main barrier between any other dreams that you really want to. So just there's nothing that's called "I can't." There's nothing which is called impossible. And then after that, I had the placement test for all the students who already applied through the internet, because I already made the page on Facebook. I'm saying again the page, which is English Language Development in Sudan Project, ELDSP. They followed the page, and right now they have already applied and they already took the exam. The reason why I made this placement test in order to divide them in groups in the workshop, because it will make it easier for the teachers in order to teach them while they're at the workshop. So each and every teacher might know the group he is teaching and the ways or the techniques that he needs to follow with this group exactly. And then at the end of each and every day at this workshop, we will have a big English club, which will be like to help them to communicate with each other and with friends around them, like so that would be like a community, like an English community. We will try to make our best, trying to tell them to speak in English, even if it was one word, because there's no one who cannot make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, so it's easy. Just take it easy, and just like it will happen with a blink of an eye. There's nothing which is called impossible again. And then at the end of the workshop, we will be having like a big day in which we'll be giving them some certificates, encouraging them more to gain like more knowledge about English, and also some hints that will help them in the future. And also there will be like weekly English club after that, which will help them a lot. So I hope like my project will do the best. So it will be helpful, or maybe like help them a lot around their community or so on. Maybe it will help them in the future. I just like need to do something that might help my brothers and sisters around here. So what I need from you is, if you think like you can provide me with more information, with more technique, or anything that you think that might help me with this project. And I'm saying again, the project will be in about 2 weeks, so I really need all the help that I can get right now. So please, 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 please provide me with all the information that you can, and visit my page on Facebook, which is ELDSP, English Language Development Project in Sudan. And I really hope that you will provide me with all the help I can, and hopefully this project will be the best. And thank you so much. All the best. Bye.